Do you play the game of comparitis, like comparing yourself to others? Hey, it's Lenny and I am here to help you find your purpose. I'm a self-talk and trainer. I am a life coach, and I am a spiritual guide and mentor. And one of the things I do in order to help you find your purpose, because this is one of the reasons why I come here every day to read a passage to help you find your purpose, to Dr. Shad's Helmstetter's book, 365 Days of Positive Self-Talk for Finding Your Purpose with His Blessing. I read you a passage from this book every single day that might help you to find your purpose and help you with your self-talk, because our self-talk is so importante. With neuroplasticity, we have learned that the brain is plastic, it's malleable, and it constantly is changing. Our brain is constantly rewiring programs into the brain. It's constantly recording, and then if it's repeated, it rewires those into programs. And we currently live with 77% at least or more of mental programs that are negative. They have us self-sabotage, they hold us back, they are counterproductive. So all of us have about 77% of those, most of us, that or more, and over 90% in our subconscious mind, just that is driving everything. So we want to change those programs. It's one of the things that why, as a life coach, it's really importante that self-talk app that I constantly encourage you to get, and because I listen to it myself, it has helped me immensely in everything that I do, especially while hubby is in the hospital, while we're in Amarillo, Texas. I use that. Well, I used it before, but I really use it the days that I don't, get down or just start feeling low frequency. And truly and honestly, I told you I was going to share as much as I possibly could on this of this journey with you, and show you that you can excel in times of change. Watch me do it, right? But I'm going to be real honest about when I don't feel like I feel like I'm in the 3D world, and I've had quite a bit of that recently. So, meaning that I've kind of lost track of who and what I really am, and the awareness. And then I catch myself, because it's the coming back and the catching that is so key to your success. It's being aware. So you're going to have times like that. And one of my really good friends, she's like, "Oh, you're human," or she says something like that. And and it truly is just this. At least those aren't my dogs running across the street. They were running across earlier. Those guys are on leashes. But it was, we are all having the human experience, every single one of us. And, but it's truly when we realize just how, just who and what we really are of the spiritual nature, that we understand our power, and that our power comes from within. So I'm going to read this passage, and then I'll give you an update on my hubby. So August 24th, day 237, 129 days left in 2024, and we are 64.75%. 64.75% complete with the year. So for August 24th, your passage is, I refuse to measure my life by comparing myself to anyone else. I am living my life for my reasons, my purpose, and my destiny, not theirs. My goal is not to be as good as someone else. My goal is to be as good as I was created to be. It's always about you. It is always about your life. I guess I didn't want to be in my video. But it's always about you, not about being someone else. I think on either August 23rd or August 22nd, I think it was the 22nd, we talked a little bit about that, and about being you, and how not comparing yourself to anyone else. So it's really busy here. But anyway, we are right at the beginning of the road. So you can see that's the the big Texas ranch, and I went to the concert they had. It was yesterday, just across where I just showed you, and it was a cover band for Linkin Park. So, and I only knew I was I was in radio, and I was a personality for what is called Jones Network, and so my name was, what was my name on that? I think it was Lenny Summers, was my name on that channel. It was like a contemporary, and that goes all across the United States. And so I remember for the adult contemporary, I played Linkin Park, and I know this cover band, I guess they were really, really good. People were really excited about it, and people come from all over Amarillo to go to this venue, and there are a lot of concerts. So people were saying they were so good. Anyway, I took the puppies after I came back from the hospital last night, and they were still there. I think that was like 10 something. They were playing like crazy. So, and I guess from here we get to go free. Anyway, I went, and the police. I'm telling you all this. I don't know why I'm telling you all this, but the police officers at the door were like, "Go on in, take your dogs," because I was taking some video. And they're like, "Go on in. You can go in for free." So I did, and it was at the very end, and they were playing like the last couple of songs. It was really nice. It's a small venue, but it's 8,000 and I guess 2,500 and 8,000, so it's not like super small. It's actually, or did I have those numbers wrong? Maybe I have those numbers wrong. But anyway, a lot of people. It was in the thousands, both of them. So maybe it was like 2,000 and then 5,000. There's a fly. Okay, so anyway, this whole thing about comparing yourself to someone else, you are very unique, and you are if you listen to the program about self-esteem, you'll understand just how very unique you are. I'm trying to get this fly. So I never understand why people, they just stop right there. But now I know why, because people are crossing. But a lot of times they just stop right there, and we're right on the road. It's kind of interesting. So there they go. Whee! Everybody's moving in for the night, for the rest of the weekend. People come and go every single morning. It's really fun to watch people come in and then leave, because everyone's going somewhere, and it's just a lot of fun. RVing is a lot of fun. Anyway, so back to our thing now that it's just a crazy. I hope this is, you can hear this. I have my microphone on. So this, like, I refuse to measure my life by comparing myself to anyone else. I was telling you, I think for the August 22nd, about being like, wanting to be like, like I wanted to have eyebrows of, who was it? Brooke Shields. And it's like, I can look at her now, and I can not just look at her, but look at my life as it is now, and it's just, it's really funny that you think that someone else has a better life than you do, and we compare ourselves to others, and it just diminishes who we are, and it diminishes our ability to live life fully as us, meaning you chose you, I chose me, and we couldn't have chosen a better vehicle, our body, and the experiences than what we chose. We chose them for a reason. These are my beliefs. And so, yet Dr. Shad Helmstetter, like these passages are just so powerful. But these are like the passages you're going to find, they're very, very concise, precise, specific to the brain. If you were to listen to this passage over and over and over again, several times, 3 times, said 3 different ways, and played over and over again, you heard it over and over and over and over, you would be repeating it to yourself, and you'd say, I refuse to measure my life by comparing myself to anyone else, and you would just be saying it, because it has now become a program in your brain, which your brain is now playing out for you. It is helping you to do that. That is what your brain does. This is neuroplasticity. You are giving it the programs, and it's just like a computer. It's just spitting out what has gone in. And you can replace the old programs that say you're not enough, you're not good enough, you don't have enough, you're not as good as a certain person. That's what we're talking about here. You're comparing yourself to someone else, or I was comparing myself to someone else. Like, I always thought people had a better life than me. I thought I had the crappiest life in the world. I had 8 years. As I told you, I tried to kill myself many times, tried to off myself, and I had my 8 years, and there I was mostly bedridden and in a, with all, I was going to say you name it, I had it, but back pain and depression and epileptic seizures and COPD. It was called COPD. It was COPD. But I mean, every single thing I say COPD because COPD is supposed to be like so many things supposed to be. Again, air quotes, because I just believe we are unlimited, but it's supposed to be incurable, right? And here I am speaking, breathing, not having absolutely any problems, no sign of COPD, and COPD is constructive. What is it? Constructive, obstructive, chronic obstructive COPD, pulmonary D something, COPD. I don't even remember it anymore. Like, totally. I don't have that. I didn't have that. I owned it for a while. As long as I owned it, I had it. When I decided to get rid of that and the seizures and everything else, I changed my biology. I literally changed my biology. So I know you can do it. I know that you are, to compare yourself to anyone else is to minimize and diminish who you came here to be. Your purpose, which is your overarching mission, if you think about it like that, why you're here. So to compare yourself to anyone else just takes away from that beautiful privilege of being here, that honor that you have chosen to be here in your precise vehicle, your body that you have chosen. So I am living my life for my reasons, my purpose, and my destiny, not theirs. So this is not, I want to just say something from the spiritual side, because I am a spiritual guide and mentor, and it's practical spirituality that I teach, which is the spiritual journey and the human experience, because we have both at the same time. So when you say them, me, and them, it's creating separation. We are all one. Yet on planet Earth, there is duality. There's the good, there's the bad, there's the wrong, there's the right. And when you recognize that really doesn't exist and everything is one, this is quite the journey, and it takes practice. This is why it's practical spirituality. It's practice, practice, practice. I'm constantly practicing it, and I'm sharing how I am excelling in times of change. I am definitely excelling in times of change with Steve and everything that he's going through, and all the things that I have felt like I've had to put on hold and deal with, things that I didn't really, that weren't on the menu of the day, and I've had a lot of very low frequency feelings about some of these things recently. So I'm gonna but I am still excelling because I'm aware and I know what is happening no matter where I'm at, and I bounce back so quickly back into, like, it does not stick with me very long. I have the feelings, I honor the feelings, I move through the feelings, and I recognize that things are happening for me, not to me, and that I've chosen them. And this gives me immense power. I'm empowered by this, through this. So my goal is not to be as good as someone else. My goal is to be as good as I was created to be. And you were created to be absolutely unlimited, with unlimited promise and potential, to be, have, change, create absolutely anything. So we're going to go, we're going to spin this around. You refuse to measure your life by comparing yourself to anyone else. You are living your life for your reasons, your purpose, and your destiny, not theirs. Your goal is not to be as good as someone else. Your goal is to be as good as you were created to be. So that is the second person, and that is your higher self. Think of it as your higher self talking to you, telling you how amazing you are, and that you are unique and you were created to be absolutely phenomenal in everything. There goes that limo again. So the limo is that take them to go have steaks and stuff. So I hope that is helpful to you. I'm going to tell you a little bit about just an update with Steve. Steve is he has had what, and maybe I said this at the beginning. I started a new video because the dogs ran off. Charlie has become a little bit on the feral side. Charlie the cat, he doesn't want to come in. He came in yesterday and because I'm at the hospital a lot, and Lynette's not here right now. She's back home doing her stuff, and will come back up here, and so it's kind of hard, but I've been. It's kind of a challenge. Remember, hard, difficult. It's like, what's a challenge? What's hard? You know what? Sometimes it is hard, and it is difficult. But I'm flowing through it, and I do choose to say challenge on many of these things, and and I look at all the things, and I just have such immense gratitude. Like just this morning, I was walking the puppies, and I was so. Oh, look, here they are looking. Here, look, I'll show you. They're right here. The puppy! They want to come out. They want to come out and play. Oh, my little puppies. They run all over. It's just not a good scene. They're not supposed to be off their leash. Anyway, so, the whole thing with something being challenging and difficult and what we make of it, it's the bouncing back, it's the coming. I kind of lost my train of thought, but the important thing is when you know who and what you really are and why you're here, and you know your purpose, and you're not comparing yourself to anyone else, because you just understand how unique you are, and you understand that it's both an honor and a privilege to be here. And all of that is, I was talking about Charlie the cat, but all of that is so powerful. It's very empowering. And I can look at the things that are going wrong, right? That if I want to focus on what's going wrong, we can all do that, the things that are going wrong. Like Charlie seriously is becoming a feral cat. He doesn't even want, he stays underneath the RV. He ran out at one day. He started just running out. He started doing that at our home after he was gone for 13 days. Was it 13? Yeah. And it snowed 2 times, over a foot each time. He came back. That was quite the adventure. And but anyway, now he's snuck out, like he just runs out super fast. And then we had, like, Steve was having, like, just all kinds of stuff happening, and we had to be at the hospital and all this stuff. So it was like, okay, well, hopefully he'll stay underneath the RV. We can't spend an hour trying to coax him out from underneath the RV. So and he just started, like, sneaking out. He'd come in to eat and drink water, and then he would run right back out, or he would stay for a while, and pretty soon now so anyway, I could look at that because it's disconcerting. I don't want anything to happen to Charlie. I love Charlie. Charlie the kitty, we love him. So, it's just, and Steve, he's been here now however many days, since July 19th. And so, and then before that, so much happened with his health and stuff. And so it's been a really long road. And so I could look at all of that, and I've had resentment. Resentment is a very low frequency emotion. Why? It's because it creates separation. It's lack. You're in lack. And that means that you don't have enough. You're not enough. There's lack, which means you're not in abundance, which means that you have decided, and it's a victim mentality. So it's me being resentful of someone, is saying someone has power over me. I've given my power to someone, and now I feel resentful about it. So it's really important that we recognize these low frequency feelings, and when we feel it is always when it doesn't feel good, you're always in lack. Always. When you have emotions that don't feel good to you, You feel angry, you feel resentment, you feel jealous, you feel, you want to be someone else. We're talking about this, right? You want to be like somebody else, like it's not having eyebrows, at least maybe you just want to have eyebrows like Brooke Shields, like I used to, but wanting to actually live that person's life. It's like, oh, they have the best life, and just wishing you could be like them, and you're a huge fan. I didn't really go there, but I see a lot of people who are these super fans. They dress like these people. They do. It's like, it's kind of, they're trying to be that person. They're trying to talk like her or him. They're trying to be just like them and all of that. So they're not being their divine true self, and so I'll go back to it being an honor and a privilege to choosing the vessel, this vehicle for planet Earth for this lifetime. And what I was going to say, what a waste of energy. But here's the thing. Every single thing has value. Everything. So even my 8 years of where I tried to kill myself many times, and I mean many times, got pretty successful, almost successful. I shouldn't say many times, but a lot of times. And, I just did not believe, I did not have self-esteem. I thought I was not good enough. There it goes, off to the house, the steakhouse. So I just didn't believe that I had, that I was worthy of my family, and I felt like I was a burden. All my back pain and my migraines and the COPD and all those things, like all that stuff, it was like I was a burden, and because I was depressed about it and all of this stuff. So it really is about lack, and it is separation from source, separation from God, separation from the universe, whatever you want to call that higher power, separation. And we're not separate. Remember the drops of the ocean. They're out there, the drops, and they have all the constituents of the ocean in the drop, right? They just come right out of the ocean, and there they go flying into the air, having this wonderful time. Or maybe not. I mean, they're unique in their individual expression. Whatever it is, they're an individual expression of the ocean, right? They're a drop. Now they're a drop. And then they're going, and they might have like some sea kelp or, an extra molecule of magnesium. Who knows? I don't know what they have. Something extra. Maybe a piece of poop from a dolphin. I don't know. But they have something maybe in them. Maybe the entire ocean doesn't have, but it has. So they're very unique, right? It's a very unique drop that's flying out there, having the experience for however long it has it. And then it goes, and it goes back into the ocean. Doink. And then it becomes what? The ocean. And all that uniqueness and all of that is now the ocean. Source, God, universe, we do that as well. There's separation from that when we feel we're not good enough or any of that. And this is why in the human experience, it's and I share this a lot, but the self-talk, like our self-talk, we tear ourselves down. So many of us, 77% of our programs or more are negative. From our conscious minds, our thinking, we're saying we're not good enough, we don't have enough, we don't remember names, we're never on time, we're not organized, we're not good enough, somebody has more than us, we don't have enough money, if we don't have this amount of money, we can't be this or do this. Lack, L-A-C-K, we are in lack, not in abundance. And that creates separation from source. Source is abundant. Source is whole. We are whole. So I share this because when you compare yourself to others, you are creating separation, and you're also not honoring who you came here to be. So again, it's not right or wrong. It's not good or bad. It could be looked at, if you want to look at it this way, as maybe a detour until you get back to really loving who you are. And hopefully you will do that if you're in that space. I know I have. And it took me a long time. But I created separation. I was separate from source. separate from God, so separate from the One, because I was very unhappy and my health was, like really bad, and all this stuff. And so this is really important to share with you, because when I tell you that I'm going to share everything, like with Steve, like how to excel in times of change, and that is the name of one of Dr. Shad's books, and I've adopted that for myself, or as far as part of what I share and teach is how to excel in times of change, because it's really important that we do. We can have success. In fact, it's the change that helps us to move. And when we have low frequency emotions about the change, like with Steve, and again, I'll tell you, I've been very honest. Look how pretty that girlie looks with her red dress. I can't see it very well, but it just really stands out, doesn't it? Walking her dog, she looks really summery and cute. So, but when we, this whole thing of, like with Steve, it's gone on a really long time, and I do feel, I feel uprooted. I feel like I want to go home. I want to be in my home. Charlie is, off. The dogs are off. Everyone's off. Lynette goes back, and then she has to come back to Amarillo, and that's almost 6 hours, and it's a lot. And she took time off of work to be there for Steve, and I've taken time off what I was doing, in my business, and we had to like really work the family business, and because he was unable to, and so there's just, I had these low frequency feelings, and then I maybe I've said this already, but maybe not at the very beginning. If I did, forgive me, but just so you understand, he has, throughout this time, he has pulled out these lines, like he has for dialysis. He has this dialysis line, had until this morning, sutured in, like literally sewn in, so it wouldn't move, because it's that important. It's in the jugular, right? For if you've ever had dialysis or know anyone, or if you even haven't, that's where it's at. I mean, it doesn't always have to be there, but they put it in the groin, or they put it there. Anyway, it looks horrible. And anyway, he pulled it out this morning at 6:30. Pulled it out. But before that, he had pulled out another PICC line, which is an intravenous vein, I don't know, portal intravenous vein line, I don't know. Essential lines, another central line. He pulled out numerous IV lines. He pulled out, a few days ago, he pulled out his stomach tube, like they were feeding him in his stomach tube. And man, this morning, yesterday I thought, finally, he's conscious and he's coming to, he's aware. He doesn't have that. Did I already tell you about the delirium? I think I did on the other video that I stopped. But anyway, but this, what they call ICU delirium, or hospital delirium, or whatever, or sundowners or something. But they can't tell night from day, and they're confused, and being in the room, one room all the time and stuff. So it's just been, it's been difficult. But I've been taking him outside and finding ways out, like really to make things happen for him. And I thought that we were like already there. Yesterday I thought, man, we have turned a corner. Day one, we've turned a corner. And then it's like, don't pull anything else out. Like he had pulled the stomach line out, and he pulled off the dressing, which he had the trach, so he has a hole right there. And think about the hospital, right? MRSA. Anyway, so under his fingernails, I mean, he hasn't had a bath in however long. All this stuff is under his fingernails, and he's pulling stuff off, even if I clean him and they clean him and stuff. It's just being there. I'm just not a believer in like hospitals and stuff. So this has been kind of difficult. I am so grateful for what they have done. I really am. I just think that there are other ways of healing naturally, and healing with the sun, and getting your earthing, and you can do some of these things that they did for him, because he definitely, if he were to stay alive, those are the things that kept him alive. But in the healing of everything, it could be different. But that's just how I feel. And so for me, with my beliefs, it's been kind of difficult already with all of this. And and then it's a different nurse all the time, so different personality, different doctors, different, not always different doctors, but a lot of doctors. I mean, and a lot of them are different, and especially when we're in the ICU in the hospital, which is the most amount of time, because they're travel doctors, and they work for 10 days, and then another doctor comes on, and they're doctors for this part of the body and that part of the body, and there's the nephrologist for the kidneys, and then the internist, and it's just like, and then the regular doctor and the hospitalist, and it's pieces and parts. I don't believe in pieces and parts. That's like saying that the drop of the ocean, oh, let's dissect that drop of the ocean and take out the constituents and see what it's all about, and it's got this arm and that leg and that algae and that whatever it is. It's breaking into pieces and parts when it's a whole, right? It's a whole system, and then it goes really into the whole system, which is the source or the ocean. So I don't know if that makes sense to you, but I'm just sharing why it's because of my beliefs, my belief system. It has made things more, not more difficult. Here I am with the word difficult again. I have this little thing going on. It's a challenge, not difficult, because if I see it as difficult, guess what it is? Difficult. So I've been working through this. To me, that's a low frequency word, the way that I'm seeing it. It's just the way I'm seeing it. It's not a low frequency. I mean, things can be difficult. Yeah, this is just how I'm just sharing with you. I want to be really honest that I am a person, and and these things have said, this is really hard. This is difficult. I've told my daughter. I've told my friends. I've told several friends, but for the most part, I'm like super positive and flowing through it, and I feel really good about that. But when I get low frequency, I get low frequency. It's like I am going through. I am also a human being, and I did feel resentment before. I haven't felt resentment now. More now. Now I'm just kind of pissed off. I really am that he's pulling this stuff. It's like, damn it, Steve! Like, stop pulling. Like, I can't even believe he didn't die pulling that out of his jugular this morning. I cannot believe that he didn't die, that he didn't just bleed out the jugular. Anyway, that was the ultimate. I've just said, you pull that out, I'm out of here. He pulled it out. I still, still there today, and I'm real tired. Like, I'm physically tired, and I'm weary, and being here, not being at home, not having that we have made. So I want to say one thing: the people here in Amarillo, Texas, Texans overall, from just people are so good. But we have one person, I've mentioned her before, Michelle. She walks the dog. She doesn't now because thank goodness, we're able to take them into the hospital where we're at, and I can take them in, and they're so good, and they lay there. The other nurses, or the CNAs, I was going to say CNTs, but anyway, they call them techs here, and TECH, and the nurses and the techs, they take the puppies to go see other patients. It gives them the electrons. There's an electron exchange. It's beautiful. It's very powerful. I love that. So we get to have the puppies. So Michelle was walking them like twice a day, every single day for the first month, and almost every single day, because Lynette was here a lot of that. So it was like once a day or something like that. But she was right there. And even the other day when I had a guy come to fix the RV. He's been here 3 times, but she opened the RV for him and then locked it up. Or I guess I locked it up because I came back home. But she had the key to walk the puppies, so she opened it, and it's like, and then the owner, and I've shared that, his name is Andy of the Big Texan RV Park. He lowered our rate to $30 a night from $65 or $70. I don't even remember what we came in paying. He lowered that first right off the bat to $45, and then he lowered it to $30. So we're paying $220 or something, whatever that is a week. And then I've had 3 men tell us like, it's just been so beautiful. Besides like Michelle and others, but 3 men who are total strangers tell us, one guy gave me his phone number. His wife is an ICU nurse in Germany. He gave me his phone number and said, and they live like 4 hours away. After they heard the story of, he just kept asking me questions about why I was here and stuff. And when he found out, he was like, I'm asking because my wife is a nurse in ICU, and I was talking to his little son, and I think I already told you the story. But anyway, his son and then his two daughters, and then he had come by, and so we were all talking, and his wife was getting them ready to go, and they like searched me down as a family. They searched down the RV and the whole park. This is a big RV park. The big Texas, and everything's bigger in Texas, right? But they went around the whole RV park looking for Colorado license plates. And then he came and knocked on the door, and as a family, they wanted to help me, and they're very sincere. He said, this is a sincere offer. If you need anything, I guess they're like 4 hours away. And I was like, wow. It just, like, what do you say to that? Everything. This is the one thing that you practice. This is where you practice receiving. Receiving has been really difficult for me. It's been like I almost cry. Sometimes I almost crumble from just the love. And sometimes I just feel like, man, I gotta give because this feels like I'm taking. This has been a really interesting time for me. But, and then on the other, then we had another guy just at a coffee shop, and he's from Egypt, and he has a 9-month-old son, plus 2 others, and he was telling us how his wife had to stop wearing her headdress because here she was ridiculed, and so she didn't feel comfortable wearing it. So, but anyway, just the conversation. He was like, if you need anything, and he gave Lynette his number, and he said, just call us. He said, this is very sincere. I mean this. If you need anything. I'm like, wow. And then there was another. Who was it? And then I've had so many nurses. Like some of these nurses, her name is Marie. Man, she's like, if you need anything, like, you just call me, just tell me. If you with him, anything. I was like, it's really amazing. Like, there are just so many Hebrews, and I'm missing one that's really important that just recently. I don't know why I'm missing it, but I am. Because I am tired. But anyway, so the passage for today, and I know I wanted to give you an update on Steve, but I wanted to be very honest with you that we are human. We are having the human experience, and it is difficult sometimes. Look at those. The lights aren't they pretty? You got to see the way the cabins light up and stuff, and it goes across my eyes like very cool. Whee! Can you see it in the video? I know you can. Okay, but so I'm going to wrap this up because I've gone on and on. And I like going on and on sometimes because I think sometimes there's some good stuff to say by going on. And I hope you got some nuggets out of it. Just the goodness in the world and your uniqueness, like to be yourself and to receive and to enjoy life, live it fully, knowing who and what you really are, and to understand that if you have low frequency feelings like I have experienced, and I was telling you that I have experienced low frequency feelings, mostly like anger and distrust in with Steve, because I can't trust him anymore, that he's not going to pull something out that and it pisses me off. I mean, it really does. And I try not to be. I try to be, you chose this, Lenny. This is happening for you, not to you. And it's like, gosh dang it, you did it again. After we had day 1, and you did it again. And I just got really upset today. And and I wasn't super kind to him, because it's like, just stop this already. Stop it. You're creating so much drama, and it's just, I don't know. And he told me today he doesn't know why. He's like, I don't know why, I do. It's like, well, you're bored, you have delirium, whatever that delirium is. I'm getting you outside. I'm doing like all this stuff. And as much as I can for him, he doesn't see, you know, what, it's just, it can be really frustrating. Frustration is also lack. Frustration is also a low frequency emotion. So, but it's an emotion. It's not good or bad, wrong or right. It's just an emotion. And I've been going through these feelings and honoring them, especially today and yesterday. I've been feeling very 3D, three-dimensional, of this world, and literally working on myself to pull myself out of that, because I love my husband very, very mucho. I see that he's getting better. And I talked to someone today, someone in the hospital. He's like, you're on the other side. And I know that we're on the other side. And he said, this happens more often than you can even imagine. And you're on the other side. So just keep moving yourself forward. You're close to the finish line. And so I will. It just, you know, it just feels at the time like there's just, so you can look at that. And I was saying this, you can look at all these things and be, poor me, I'm a victim, all of that, because truly, when you're not empowered and you're not coming from within and you're not coming from that empowered place, you're coming from a victim. Like, dang you, Steve, look what you caused. Like, you brought that up. Now look, I have to be here. I have to, you're restrained because you're pulling things out, and I'm pissed off, and I'm a victim. I'm a victim of your stupidity, your drama, you know, your antics. And you could kill yourself, and you just wanted, this whole time you wanted to live, and here we are, you're trying to kill yourself. So anyway, it's just, you know, I just want you to know that you can excel in times of change, just like I am. It might not sound like I'm excelling, but I am, because I know who and what I really am. I'm not comparing myself to others, and even though I have these low frequency emotions, they're not wrong or right, bad or good or any of that. They just are, and I honor them. I honor them as the human experience. I just fill myself with compassion energy, move myself out of the drama triangle. That's to come from a place of, I've got to finish this, because look, it's already getting really late and it's dark, and you might not be able to see me in the video, but look, you can see my cool eyes. Look at that. It's like I have these sunglasses on. Ooh, these are cool. But anyway, I just honor that, you know, and honor that, and fill myself with that compassion energy. Then I come from a place of neutrality to move myself forward. So you too can excel in times of change, and I am doing that. I am building my business. I'm doing my videos. They might be a day or two, you know, late, but I still get them done every single time. I read you the passage every single time. That's important to me. Consistency is really important to me. I just have not felt the last week and a half, I've just felt very, there's been the 3D things, but I've been feeling very weary, very tired, and feeling like I'm just not my best, that I can't offer you the best of me. And so that's why I'll come and do it later when I feel that I can. So that's the story. I love you very, very mucho. Remember that, that you refuse to measure your life by comparing yourself to anyone else, right? That's the story. I love you very, very much. You are awesome and amazing. You can do this. You can find your purpose. Remember, your purpose gives you direction. It gives you meaning, and it's like the boat with the rudder, right? You know exactly the direction in which you're going. You may not know exactly how you're going to get there, what it's going to look like. Just know it's going to be better than you could even ever imagine. I love you so very, very much. You can do this. You can find your purpose. I believe in you. You got this. And as always, shining my light, especially the ones in my eyes. Look at that, my peepers. Whee! Shining my light to brighten yours. I love you so much. See you tomorrow. Ciao.